We OG, we OG. Oh no, G. You're not bullish enough. Yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got the oh no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to Olo. Yeah. Experts on reload. Yeah. You're not bullish enough. Yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got the oh no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to Olo. Experts on reload. Mempool getting hot. Everybody wanna rock. Ayy. Runes is coming, everybody on a knot, ayy. It's a nuisance, Ordinal Revolution, ayy. Ordinal Revolution. Yo, is my guy for real, bro? Got friends right now. Yo, BRC 420, bro.
Yeah.
Yo, that shit on fire, bro. Imagine if he in here. Yeah, lock it in the seal. Murder. I got balls of steel. Nookies on the field. Yeah, this shit for real. With no calls, I get so far. Got 100 phone calls that I go hard, and they gon' love me. Smoke weed, huddle back. I get shiesty. Where my Bitcoin looking lovely. All this Satoshi's nothing above me. Bitcoin's alive, what you gon' do? Mempool fees are high. Ordinal. Where does it start? Nobody knows. It's a revolution, ayy. Bitcoin is the one, no substitution, ayy. With Shizzy and Yagobi, it's Ordinal Revolution.
Welcome back to Ordinal Revolution. My name is Shizzy. On this channel, we cover the entire Bitcoin Ordinal ecosystem. What is up, guys? We have an amazing show for you guys today. We're live for another Ordinal hour, and it's going to be a good one. We have a lot to talk about today. We're going to get into a lot of Bitcoin building blocks and really kind of go over a lot of the building that's happening. There's a lot of new projects out there, and we kind of want to take a look at some stuff, but obviously we don't have a lot of time, so we're going to continue this over the course of a few weeks and stuff like that. Really tap into some builders. There's some cool stuff being built on Agora, some stuff by Frog we're going to get into, and a bunch of other stuff. It's really going to be a good episode today. Right now, Bank of Japan say there are no more rate cuts, and that's why you kind of see the volatility kind of drop in a little bit. Donald Trump Jr. said there's a big announcement. We're going to get into that, and the ETF guys just are not stop buying. They're just not stopping right now. It's actually pretty amazing. 2.1 billion yesterday. Pretty crazy. But without further ado, we bring my partner here, as always, Mr. Yagobi.
What's up? What's going on?
What's going on, dude? How's everything with you? How you doing? How's your life? You ready for tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm getting excited. Been prepping for that big debate between you and Francis, right? It's going to be really, really fun. There's going to be some giveaways. This is going to be a really good giveaway episode, in my opinion. So make sure that you're tuning in and you're engaging in the chat so we can, you guys have a chance to win.
Yeah, might as well just get into that first because that is kind of join us tomorrow for a Runes versus BRC20 debate. Who's dead? Orange Crypto HQ is sponsoring a debate between Francis and Shizzy, monitored by Yagobi. So it should be fun, guys. Tomorrow we're going to be giving away $1,000 worth of ORNJ. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. It is a BRC20, so it might take 2 weeks to get it to you, but but we'll do our best here at Ordinal Revolution. We'll do our best with that. But how's everything else, man? How you feeling with the markets? How you feeling with just crypto in general?
Yeah, it feels okay. We've seen, this kind of rising wedge the past couple of days with this bounce back, right? That drop off was pretty significant, but the bounce back seemed pretty strong. Today, I think we're seeing a little bit more of a choppy type of situation, not take off yet, or that kind of energy is what I'm feeling. Hanging around here between 55 and 57, which is fine. We just, like I said, came back up from 49,000, so it makes sense. In terms of the other parts of the market, I'm extremely bullish. You know, we're hearing about like multiple stable coins that are being added and new builders to the space. And so that's a bullish indicator. There's a couple things: wallets that support the ecosystem infrastructure. Stable coins is that next level up in terms of on-chain economy. Let's take it to that next level. Let's figure out how we can use stables to make more or satoshis in the end, right? Like whether that means temporarily put your money in stables and then get back in at a cheaper price of satoshis, whatever strategy you're going to use. Stables are always useful in a DeFi on-chain economy environment, and so this is extremely bullish from my perspective.
Yeah, and right now, people that we do business with, they were like, "Oh, we'll send you USDT," and in my head, I'm just like, "Why can't you just send me a Bitcoin stablecoin?" But if I said that out loud, they'd be like, "You guys have stablecoins over there?" You know what I mean? So it's gonna be really eye opening to a lot of people once these really go into price discovery, as for lack of better words, and to discovery of Bitcoin ordinals and what we're doing over here with stablecoins and Bitcoin DeFi.
Yeah, 100%. And it's just not, obviously layer one is very important. It's the most important in my opinion, shoring things up on layer one. But we all know that Bitcoin has its limitations on purpose, right? To protect the chain, to protect the value of Bitcoin. And we are all for that. But there are creative ways to have scalability on Bitcoin's native layer, and we have the best and smartest people working on that right now. But also we have to talk about the scaled part of the ecosystem, the layer twos, the side chains, roll-ups in the future and stuff like that. And that is also being built up, right? So just look back to 2017, 2018, 2019 when Ethereum was building all this stuff out. We are kind of in the middle of that right now, right? Yeah. Getting ready for an explosion for the true part of this bull market.
100%. I spoke about it in the intro here, but kind of hit it on again. Bank of Japan, no more rate hikes near term due to market volatility. So the reason why I think we really dropped last week, not just crypto markets, but in general, was because of Bank of Japan. Japan's been going through a crisis, and it hasn't been the last couple of months. It's been like the last year, and it seems like they're down, then they go sideways, and then they're down against the dollar. Bank of Japan, they're pretty much at this like zero interest rate points. They've been that way for a long time. You can borrow very cheap over there and then buy something else, but that is getting caught up to a lot of people, because if it spikes up, there's a lot of people who are paying 0% interest rates now have to pay 1-2%, which means they're gonna pay back the loan and kind of get out of Japan, which causes their index, the Japan index, to really just keep dropping because they're selling assets.
Yeah, and this was very interesting because I saw a TikTok episode on this, and the carry trade is really what made people panic. And it was because you had smart people, probably like Warren Buffett and people like that were borrowing yen and then purchasing equities, right, over here, and they were borrowing near to zero, like you said, interest rate. And once Japan realized how the dollar was going down against it, they increased the rates, and then at that point, these people have to cover their positions over like borrowing the yen from Bank of Japan, right?
Yep.
So that's where a lot of that sell-off came from. And now it seems like Japan's kind of like, okay, look, we covered some of that gap that needed to be filled, from the yen side of things. And so it seems like they're calming down now, and we can kind of balance out. But, who knows what's going to happen? This kind of was boiling up, like you said. It did slap us in the face because everybody was feeling pretty decent about the economy, but we'll see what happens here and if this kind of calms down.
It's funny too, because it's like this happened, and then obviously the stuff with Iran, we're not gonna get into that at all because I don't want to get canceled, but the unemployment drop as well. So it was like all three of those things at one time, and and then you heard all these billionaires saying recession, and it was just like, what is going on, right? So I think that it was very manipulated. It seemed like big guys were shorting, and they wanted to win that race, and they definitely won that race. But now they're kind of sitting flat again. So I don't know. It seems TradFi is so manipulated. But we'll move on. We'll go into this pretty good. Donald Trump Jr. He says we're about to shake up the crypto world with something huge. Promises a huge crypto announcement. Any idea what this could be?
This could be anything from like another NFT collection, right, to something that they're trying to, propose to society. Maybe like, I don't know, blockchain voting or something
Yeah.
to have clarity. I don't know. I mean, it could be anything, right? This is the curveball that we just have to speculate on until he comes
Yeah.
out with it. I know there have been people saying that Trump wanted to release another collection, and so that's what initially came to my mind. But then it seems like he's really overhyping it if that's the case. So it could be something different.
Yeah.
We'll have to wait and see. I think that would be great if we had confidence in our election process, and if there's a way to use blockchain technology to shore that up, I think that would be amazing.
Yeah, man. I mentioned this one again in the intro, but there's something that we have to hit on as well. Total spot Bitcoin ETF trading volume surpasses $2.1 billion yesterday. Billions of dollars are pumping through these ETFs on the traditional stock market. Absolutely insane, right? 2.1 billion. Did you think it would be like this much already?
Yes, I did, especially whenever it dropped down.
Yeah.
BlackRock, Fidelity.
Yeah.
I don't know if Vanguard joined the party yet, but
Not
they
yet, no.
will. They will. These TradFi guys have been pitching this, and I think there was a new big TradFi entity that joined today. 15,000, I think, people they have employed that are going to be pitching the ETF. They're not pitching their high value clients something they feel like is going to go to zero. They're going to make sure that it doesn't, right? And these people are longer term holders, and so they're not going to get freaked out by a bounce down. Obviously, if Bitcoin jumped down to like 20K, they would probably freak out. But these entities aren't going to allow that to happen because they don't want to lose trust, and that's what they have earned over all this time. Even though from the overall public, the smaller investors and stuff, we don't really have that trust in them. But the ones that have these large accounts, these high value accounts, we're talking about tens of hundreds of millions of dollars or more, they do trust them because they're on the same team in the sense, right? So that's why I'm not shocked about this. They looked at this as such a huge opportunity. They're probably on the phones like crazy, calling up all their clients, hey, add more here, add more here. That's my speculation, obviously. But I'm not surprised.
And I'm sure they're showing their clients charts like the one that I have right here. Let me share my screen here. But I saw this morning, and it seems pretty interesting. So as you can see here, let me put my screen bigger here. As you can see here, we are entering right here. If you look back over to here, basically, pretty flat, and then right out as we you leave these halving points, we kind of go up. And you can see right back here, this is when the halving was, and we pretty flat for a few months, and it's pretty much the same here. We had a little bit difference here. We had a dump into after the halving over here, and then a build up, but only got back to where the halving was originally, maybe like a outside of there. So, but it just shows you, if you look at all these, it just shows you the minute we start leaving this halving zone, and this halving zone, it looks like it's about, I don't know, 2 months. We're about to leave the halving zone, and we're about to enter this, and potentially, you see this 1 million up here. If you just repeat a little bit of this, right, it takes you pretty much to at least, $500,000, 200, 300K. So that's just very minimal, in my opinion. I think we hit a lot higher than that, but you can see we're about to leave this halving point, just like we left over here, and it's about to be up only, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I think you can't. Can you go back to that?
Yeah, sure.
I don't think you can replicate the peak. Now, this is definitely a different year with the ETF, but if you look at each time they left that halving peak to the very top, or that halving place zone to the very top of the peak, starting from that first cycle, you can see that it's been trimmed down each time, which makes sense because that's how Bitcoin works.
Yeah.
I mean, it's already at a higher market cap, right? So I would even say maybe take 75% of that peak and then add that to there. Now with the ETF being here, that could be the curveball, the wild card for this cycle specifically. But that's why they say Bitcoin has decreased gains over time, right? Because it's just growing, it's grown so much in terms of a market cap, it can only increase percentage wise a certain amount each time. And so that's why I think that, if we hit 100% because of the ETF of the last cycle's peak, then yeah, we'd be rocking and rolling probably $500,000. But if we do something more typical, then I think 200,000, 250,000 is something that would be a success as well.
Yeah, man. And this is study Bitcoin cycles. All right, we'll move into the Bitcoin fear and greed.
My favorite part.
So last week we were at a 61. Yesterday we were at 17. And today we are above 17. I'll give you that hint. We are significantly above 17, but we're still very, very fearful. We're still in fear. What do you think is the number for the Bitcoin fear and greed for today?
So it was at 17 the last time?
17 yesterday.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So then I would say it's probably like either 16 or 18. I'll say 18.
No, well, it's significantly higher. I'll give you that hint.
Wow. 25?
29. Pretty close.
I can't work with this meter, man.
But yeah, so it's 29 today. It's still very fearful. Yesterday was extreme fear. Last week was greed. This is all over the place, right? It's pretty insane. I don't know. I don't know if we should even trust this thing or even show this thing anymore. It's getting pretty bad. Let us know in the chat if you guys want us to keep doing the Bitcoin fear and greed. And if not, we'll just do away with it.
No, I think we should.
Okay.
It kind of explains just where we are as a society, kind of like
Yeah.
where our minds are at anyways, right? It's like,
yeah,
there's a lot of craziness happening in the world. And so, yeah, I mean, it's fine. We'll get to a point to where it's more consistent. But right now we're just seeing volatility. There's things like I said, the yen issue, the carry trade, that was the closest thing to a black swan that we've had this year.
Yep.
And so, if that's the worst, then I'm happy, but, let's just knock on some wood here.
100%. All right. We're getting to the Bitcoin price action brought to you guys by BitPerp. Shout out to BitPerp. They are the number one, the number one DApp really on that chain.
Botonics. Yeah, they're not live yet, but just some of the features that we see, right? We do believe they're going to be a premier perpetual DEX on Botonics, which is a Bitcoin layer 2. But before we jump into the BitPerp Bitcoin price action, we're going to ask you guys to smash that like for us on the YouTube side, subscribe, and turn those notifications on so you know when we go live. And then on the Twitter side, guys, please share the space for us. It helps us a ton. And smash that like on the Twitter side as well. But yeah, let's get into some Bitcoin charts here. Let me share my screen. Right there. All right, perfect. Yep. So this is the hour chart, right? So this is something you can see what I'm thinking is going to happen for the rest of the day. Bearish rising wedge, right? So it was pretty easy to call this rising wedge coming out of this just huge dump off, right? It was now we've gone all the way from 49K to 57, right? And that's something I talked about yesterday. I felt like we would, with what the charts were telling us yesterday, we'd hit that 56,000, 57,000, possibly topping out around there. And it's exactly where we I think got to 57.5. But now we're showing, hey, look, we've, rose up here out of this wedge, and we need some correction a little bit here. The MACD on the hour charts is showing a pretty significantly strong sell pressure here. We, have been in the overbought territory for quite some time for the stochastic RSI, and it looks like we are starting that descent, right? 56,000 is where we are right now. We were as high as, like I said, 57.4 here. So I do expect further sell-off. Maybe we get back down to 55.5. Nothing significant. It's, unless we have some crazy black swan news again. But I do expect for the rest of the day to be kind of choppy to sell down. So bottoming out around 55,000, 55.5, around that range for the rest of the day. We did have significant time frame of kind of rebounding here. So expect that sell-off for today. But I don't think it's going to be crazy. Like I said, 55,000, kind of that low price point there for me. On the 8-hour chart, which let me get back there. All right. So that is something we're going to have to work on there, that refresh on their charts. But I do love that we can make lines and draw directly on here. But yeah, so the 1 hour chart. Let's go back here. The 8 hour chart. Okay, so we did have kind of this reversal, the the bullish wedge starting, right? And then we bounced out of it. This is a pretty good sign as long as today can be just choppy on the 1 hour chart that we just looked at, right? So if we can just remain choppy, don't really have a big aggressive sell off, just a normal pendulum swing back to kind of sell off a little bit, don't go below that 55,000 mark, build up bearish momentum, then we can continue this bullish descending wedge, right? Popping back out here. So that is the goal. Obviously, we want to get bullish again, but it does show the strength of the sell-off or the sell pressure on the 8 hour chart weakening here. So that's a really, really good sign. We are heading into overbought territory. So today is going to be very crucial, in my opinion, for this momentum to keep going, right? So if we can remain 55,000, 55.5, and then tomorrow kind of start off bullish again, then we can continue this trend back up, which will be really good for the next week. I do believe August is going to be one of those, beginning of the month, slower type of months, and then hopefully towards the end, a little bit more bullish. But that is what I'm seeing for the next week. But yeah, I think we're in okay territory as long as we don't get any more bad freakouts from traditional markets. They are affecting Bitcoin's price action right now.
Yeah.
But Bitcoin did show strength by that quick bounce back from 49K.
And August is historically red, right? The candle. So I mean that's one thing to take into too. But being under 62 will be red. So even at 59 or 60,000, if we end the month there, we're still technically red. September is usually not a great month of Bitcoin either. A lot of people are getting back to work, back to school, and stuff like that. But then October is usually one of the most bullish months. October and February are the biggest bull months, and I think we have a bull run between October and February. So I think that's something that we should look forward to, and something that we should be ready for as well.
Yeah, I agree. But the biggest positive and most bullish side part of all of this is while Bitcoin is kind of being volatile right now, but showing strength while other alts are really bleeding out or were. The building that's happening in the background for our ecosystem is just making 100%. Me so bullish, right? Of what's to come, because we all want Bitcoin to go up. Because at the end of the day, we want to stack more sats. That's our goal. But at the same time, we need Bitcoin to rise for our Bitcoin layer 1 assets to do well. So
I agree, 100%. All right, we'll get into that roll call.
Let's get it.
Let's see who is here. Not a lot of people here. What is going on today? We are being drowned out on YouTube, on Twitter, I think, and YouTube. I don't know what's going on. PJNZ, I think it's 2 days in a row now. Congratulations to you. It's an Ordinal Revolution. Shout out to you. You win again today. You are the winner. You are number 1. That number 2 spot, we got Mike's World. Shout out to Mike's World. He's a legend in the space. And then without any indication, we have our boy Yasher, man. He's always here. I know Yasher's here. That's one thing that I can guarantee every single day, that Yasher's here. Good day, everyone. Reziak is here. Big goofy guy, man. You are just here every single day, man. We appreciate you. And then my guy, No, he says GM Dgens. Shout out to you, my friend. And then another one of our mods, Danny Boy. Shout out to Danny Boy, man.
Yep. I got back to you, Danny, in Discord. Sorry, we just been so busy, but I got back to you yesterday. So
yeah, man. If you guys do want to reach out to us, Twitter is probably the best place, honestly. I respond probably within minutes on Twitter. But followed by Joko is here, super fan, one of the building blocks in this space. Shout out to him. Chief Axel, my man E-Buck, he says GM fam, Shizzy, when are we hitting the gym? You call me fat, bro? Yeah, I need to hit the gym, bro. Hit me up, dude. I'm down. I know you're in my area, so just let me know. Tim Baker, AOD Art, shout out to you, my friend, another one of our mods. Appreciate you. Ant-Man is here. Chain Watcher.
Go.
Steamy J is in the building. Patrick Nand, Business Tycoons. I think you were new here. I don't remember seeing you. I could be wrong though. But he hits us with a Yagobi. And then we have Shot AM. Shout out to you. Thank you so much for being here. Crypto.
Wait,
Cats. What's up?
Does he take shots in the morning? Is that why your name is Shot AM?
I think so. I think he's drunk by the time our show comes on. But shout out to you, Crypto Cats SPI, and then one of our guys, Mr. Sheedy, had it with me yesterday, bro. He was pissed I was coming at his love of bitmaps, but I went in there yesterday and I made up with those guys. I just explained where I was coming from. That was a good experience. I was in there way too long. I was in there for like 2 hours, but yeah. I went back in after
Oh,
we did our
okay.
call. So, Green Man is here. D Love SPI says, yeah, I do. Yeah, do it. Yeah, I guess he's talking about the Bitcoin Fear and Greed. Still believe in it. Bitmap Gallery is here. Shout out to you, LSR. Zahid, you are always here too, man. Appreciate you. Yasher says, "Yup, it's on my daily calendar to be here." You are the
We
man.
appreciate you, Yashir.
Be like Yasher. Be like Yasher for sure.
He's definitely gonna make it.
Yeah, he's probably already made it. Probably got his feet up right now on a beach somewhere. Shout out to you.
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll kind of get into the topics a little early today. No, I guess 25 minutes isn't too bad.
Yeah,
but
it's actually good timing to do the roll call, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I think we should try to nail it in before here. So, this is OpenPad.io collaboration announcement. So, OpenPad, they're huge. We are thrilled to announce our collaboration with the Tap protocol, enabling all things on tap of the Bitcoin network. So, I was following OpenPad before. So when I saw this, I was like, "Is it the same Tap?" But they're an AI launchpad. So that's pretty wild, right? That they're kind of working with Tap, and these guys do projects on not so much on BRC20s and stuff like that. They do a lot of stuff on ZK Sync and BNB and stuff. So when I saw that, I was like taken back a little bit. But these are the guys right here. But yeah.
Well,
So
let's think about what Benny said. Benny and Track's team said they had planned for Pipe.
Yeah.
Right. They said that they had AI Pipe. They want to use the Pipe protocol as like an AI focused protocol. Right. So this could kind of transition into that as well.
Yeah. So I'm curious what this they said Tap, not Pipe, but we do know that Tap and Pipe are pretty linked. Pipe being the Runes version of Tap's BRC20 version. I mean, if that's an easy way of saying it, because Tap is like a BRC20 type of clone, while Runes is really a Pipe clone because Pipe was out first. So
yeah, 100%.
Oh yeah, man. All right, moving along here. Udi, in the news today, he put out this monster. Did you see this monster tweet?
Yeah, I didn't get into all of it.
Yeah, it was pretty simple. He said, "I sweep some Bitcoin ordinals and runes today." So Udi really getting involved. He said, "I recommend following Quantum Cats and turning on notifications. We've been taking advantage of the bearish period, and there's a lot of progress behind the scenes. You are not ready for OpCat and Cat VM." He has P.S. I noticed that some collections have been manipulated listings on the floor. Some bots are listing ordinals at low prices, but canceling any transaction that attempts to pick them up. It means those are effectively fake listings. Can't be purchased without a fee war. Essentially driving floor prices down. Maybe to accumulate lower? Not sure. CB Spears and others have covered this too. So this is something that I've noticed too. On Magic Eden anyway. I'm not sure if it's happening anywhere else, but listings are coming in, but when you attempt to buy them, they immediately get sniped. So, which is kind of annoying because it's like, I thought I had it, but then I get sniped, and then the fees go to 30 or 40 sats for V-Byte in a bidding war. I don't know what's going on with this, but if Udi is noticing this now, then it's a big deal.
Yeah, actually, so I know some people have been investigating playing Internet Sleuth with Node Monks.
Yeah.
That is one of the projects that has been highlighted with this, and it seems like someone's listing and then having another account buy it, but then cancel it once they're it's processed. So it looks like a sale, right? And so there's multiple ways of manipulating this, right? And so if you want your collection to look like it has the top leader in volume, that's a way to do it, right? Now, at the end of the day, if the floor price is what the floor price is, and for example, we were both node monk holders, and we got in pretty darn early, and we're able to take advantage of that price hiking up. We didn't have to wait very long for that, right? Like, I mean, I think the longest was maybe like 6 hours at a really high price. So I think it doesn't, yes, it's annoying. It's a way that anybody can do it though. If it was something to where like anybody can do it, then I would say, okay, that's an unfair advantage. Right. And so that's where I'm at with that. You know, I think it's just games that have been played in the crypto space for ever, and now there's games being played on Bitcoin's on-chain economy.
Yep. And he says a good way I found to get around this is instead of submit collection offers on Magic Eden for the collections, you want to buy very close to the floor. On the big collections, you'll be filled also almost immediately. So he's saying if you put your collection offer like close to what the floor is, people will just do it immediately, and then you cannot get canceled. So he said instead of buying it and getting it pushed in the mempool, just put a collection offer, and then somebody will come to you and basically send you the thing. So he said, you know, that's to say the floor is 0.1. If you come in at 0.99 or 0.09999, you'll get it filled right away.
Yeah. I mean, that's a great way to do it, right? So you don't have to worry about, you know, the sale not going through and just being canceled. That way, you know, there's not manipulation with someone listing it at a floor price they want to list it to make it look good. You know, you're just listing it close to the floor price, and then someone else that's coming in that isn't trying to manipulate will purchase your item there. So
yeah, man. All right. Since the launch of Runes, number of wallets and users have surged to over 800,000. There's now 800,000 users. To put this in perspective, we had about 200,000 wallets around halving. Today we have around 800,000. Pretty nuts. There's 600,000 new wallets in Ordinals right now since April.
Yeah, that's a lot. That is a lot, right? There's been a lot of push, a lot of marketing, you know, in terms of trying to get Dog out there. The main goal is to get Dog listed on Binance and other top tier centralized exchanges, right? And because that push has been made so aggressively, and the event of the Halving and Runes launch, you know, this is kind of the result of that, right? 800,000 new wallets that came from outside the ecosystem. This is kind of why we need the experience to be better, because you have right here 800,000 wallets, right? And we're not seeing as much activity and volume that we should be, right? So that user experience does need to be improved. And some people I've noticed, like, they're onboarding with dot swap or Odin swaps about to be out. They're saying, you know what, who cares? Let's just make this centralized with trusted entities to get the trading volume going. And unless, you know, there's some fast updates with op codes and or fractal, we're probably going to have to rely on these centralized swaps.
Yep, I agree. Well, speaking of centralized swaps, stablecoins have been pretty much the number one that's being used in the dot swap anyway. Stablecoins on Bitcoin: Bank, Hermetica, Bima, Ducat, BitUSD, which is BitSmiley, all BTC stablecoins. What do you think about the surge in new stablecoin builders? We have a video with Hermetica. If you don't know who they are, the video will be out later today, probably a few hours after our stream here. So check that out later today. We did an in-depth interview with Jacob from Hermetica. It was pretty awesome to find out that, you know, each coin is backed by $1 Satoshis and is always backed by $1 of Satoshi. So that is pretty cool. But what's your opinion on all this building coming from stablecoins? If you would have told me last September that we were going to have, you know, potentially 5 new stablecoin builders, not just stablecoins themselves, but actually teams that are building around these stablecoins, what would you say? Would you be like shocked?
No, because my conviction was that our on-chain economy was going to grow into a DeFi-like environment. But to say that there was 4, maybe at this point, I would expect maybe 2. But there are 4, and that's extremely bullish in my opinion, right? Because
Yeah.
stablecoins' whole objective is to really bring liquidity into the ecosystem, right? And so, how do you do that? You do that by offering up to 25% APY by staking USDH, which is
Yeah.
the coin for Hermetica, and learning how they are able to pay that APY out is very important. And watch
Yeah.
that video tonight once we drop it, because Jacob does go into explaining how that works, and I think it's brilliant, right?
Yeah.
But that's just one. Then you have BAMP, right? That uses another strategy
Yep.
that goes, and gets backed by the USDE from Athena on Ethereum. So there's 2 separate strategies. One that's fully backed by Satoshis,
Yep.
and the Satoshi count increases if Bitcoin goes down. That backs each dollar has to be valued at $1. Or right now, or with BAMP, the Ethereum stable token is backing that. So with Ducat and I think it's BMI, I think it is the other one, BIMA. Those are 2 more, and these are all for Bitcoin's native layer, guys. So that's what makes me so bullish, because we have the Bitcoin layer 2 ecosystem as well, with BitSmiley as well. So this tells me that we have entered the next phase of building this DeFi-like environment with Bitcoin's on-chain economy, and it just makes me so bullish.
Yeah, I just got a weird rap that popped in my head with Bima. Chilling in my Bima, waiting for a dip. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I apologize. But that's a cool name for a stablecoin. Chilling in my Bima. But yeah, I'm very bullish on stablecoins, man. I just think the more the merrier. The more chances. Let's just say you're in Bitcoin and you want to be in stables. To say you think the top is in, we hit 700K. Everyone's saying $1 million. You're like, nah, Shizzy was right. 700K. Shizzy was right. And then you want to get into a stable coin. It might not be smart to just get in and just 100% NUSD. It might not be smart to get in 100% any of these, really, right? USDH, but it could be smart to put 25% in this stable, 15% in this stable, 20% in this stable, 40% in this stable, whatever you feel most comfortable in. And, at least have it to where if this stable goes down, all right, yeah, it's a bad day. But you're over here. But in the end of the day, we really hope that all these stables survive. But experience tells me that they all won't, right?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I think the ones that we'll learn really quick, in my opinion, which ones are going to have like really good strength this cycle. Obviously, if there's a new spin on how it's being collateralized or something, those are the things to look out for, because okay, it might raise your eyebrow. And I think for me specifically, I'm going to further research, of course, right? Because yes, it's cool to have innovation, but when it comes to backing a stable coin, the collateral is very important on how that works, right? Algorithmic stable coins seem to not, do well. Obviously, we could go to UST, talk about that. But if you look at it, other than UST, most of the stable coins that don't succeed were after like the DeFi boom, and they tried to start a new stable coin, and it just didn't really, towards the end, it was hard to really keep it pegged. So I think what we're going to see is strength in the beginning for most of these. And then when things get choppy, start paying attention really closely. But I agree. I think splitting it up and having a basket of these is probably the best approach that I'm going to take, while I'm waiting, because that's the most important time. You got to think about it. When will you do that? You're going to do that when you think the bull run is over and Bitcoin is done peaking, and you're going to put yourself in stables to buy Bitcoin cheaper.
And again, like I DCA in, so I'm going to DCA out, right? I'm using the same strategy to leave Bitcoin, but to me, I want to get as much Satoshis as possible. So if I'm thinking, hey, 700K is the top, but then momentum pushes us to 800, 850, I might be DCAing from 700 to 800K, and then just keep pulling out. I would not be putting $1 in at that point, because at that point it's going to be all retail and just unexperienced people that are going to get their butts handed to them, just like we had our butts handed to us 3 years ago. So I think that's going to happen again. And I think at that point, going to stables, potentially even to buy the dip, right? Let's say we're at like 400K and I'm still thinking 700K, and we drop down to 300K. I might, go into stables on the rise up, and then just have some stables there to buy more Bitcoin later. So I don't know. So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that's a bad strategy as well. Everybody has their own unique strategy for success. But I think the one strategy no one wants to have is holding bags, heavy bags, right? And so
Yeah.
this is where it can help you out.
But
But
I'm okay with
go ahead.
having a heavy bag of Bitcoin. Like, I don't
Yeah,
care. Like,
sure.
if
That's
Bitcoin's
the
700K,
only heavy bag you want, really.
yeah,
But other than that, like the topic here is stablecoins on Bitcoin, and I
yeah,
think that people that are listening should be excited about this. This is
yeah.
something that all four of these stablecoin builders were on a space yesterday with Farmer Joe. I want to say Udi was in there. I believe some other big
Booty
play.
there.
I think
Shit.
some other big people were in there as well, just talking about, like, I know Jack Lou was in there because obviously BAMP and Jacob from Hermetica, but they're having a space on this, and they know that this is a necessary
Yeah.
part of infrastructure for on-chain economy. Even though laser eyes hate this, they absolutely hate this. It's inevitable. It's here. Some of these builders are actually Bitcoin devs
Yeah.
originally that have been building on Bitcoin for a long time, so that gives me even more confidence.
I mean, they all hate it until USDT comes here, right? And then they'll probably love stablecoins at that point. They'll love ordinals at that point, because at that point they're going to be able to earn in Bitcoin, right? So potentially, whether it means locking up USDT or locking up Hermetica and earning the 25% yield paid
Yeah.
in Bitcoin, right? Or it's paid in USDH. So potentially is Bitcoin, because you're going to flip that into Bitcoin. So I don't know. There's a lot of opportunities, and remember, the video hasn't come out yet, but Hermetica's going to have a point system on top of the 21%, 25% max allocation to USDH. So
Yeah.
we'll move on
Which
here.
might, real quick, last bit of possible alpha that might lead to something to do with their governance token, because they did. Well, I'll let you guys watch the video tonight. So.
Yeah, the video will be out later today. Watch the Hermetica video. I promise you, you'll be very happy you did. Jumping over to here, we got Ord.io. They came out, and this is obviously Leonidas' company. Leonidas is the dog pusher, but Ord.io, he basically came out today, and they said Ordinals and Runes, a comeback has begun. And in my opinion, I just think that that's a big deal. I think, Ord.io, they see a lot of on-chain data, right? So this is a tweet by them, and I think that, they're calling the bottom here. They're calling the bottom on Ordinals and Runes. They're calling the bottom being the first week of August. What's your opinion on that? Ord.io making a statement here.
Well, they can call the bottom all they want, but if Bitcoin dumps again and dumps pretty hard, this is not going to be the bottom. But there was a big bounce back. I mean, you're looking at Dog Go to the Moon at $300 million. It was at 200, knocking on the door, but trying to go below 200 million. So I think, that was like the best bounce back that we could have had out of everything. Obviously, Dog for the Runes side.
Yeah.
And so I think that's probably what they're referring to, and then there is some bounce back for the Ordinals collections. We do need Bitcoin to at least remain choppy here, like, not take another dump, and also, finish August pretty decent. And September is going to be interesting too, because Hollywood, which was commenting on our show yesterday, did make a good point. Typically the traditional markets will decrease the month of rate cuts, but how will it affect Bitcoin, and how will it affect Bitcoin's ecosystem? Bitcoin's ecosystem runs off of Bitcoin fuel, and so it's going to be very interesting. I think that many people, including TradFi, is going to look at this as very opportunistic times to acquire more Bitcoin.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think the bottom is in, though. I think the bottom is in for Runes. I think the bottom is in for Bitcoin in this local cycle, and I think the bottom is in for Ordinals. But I've been wrong a lot, so, but that's my opinion. This is one here. Bet BTC.win announcement airdrop. We're excited to announce that we are doing an airdrop in the upcoming weeks. So Bet BTC.win is an Agora Benzene General competition, competitor. So what do you think about this one? They're doing an airdrop to communities. They're not people that are using the site. They're not doing that. They're picking certain communities. I think Bitmap being one of them. So if you do hold a Bitmap, you potentially will get this airdrop. So I don't know how they're going to do it, But there's 20,000 bitmap holders, so I don't know how they're going to do that. And there's a lot of bitmaps in Maryland, so they might just not include that one. But there's a lot of different communities that they're considering as well, frogs and stuff like that. But I don't know. They're going to put out the complete announcement today, so go follow those guys. Bet BTC win. I checked out their site. They're not live yet. They're just kind of still looking like Byzantine General. You can put your email or something so far to get notified later. But what do you think about more prediction markets in Bitcoin?
So this makes me extremely bullish on predictions markets.
Yeah.
Extremely. This is the third one. In an eloquent way, Bitcoin's limitations plays perfectly into a predictions market, right? Because there's not too much you don't need computation. Obviously, if you want it like Poly market, yeah, that would be great. You could have smart contracts on there, but with the limitations, you can still place these bets, right? Now there is a centralized trust factor here, and I know Agora is trying to get their platform to trustless, having multiple entities like kind of vote, if you will, into the correct answer, and then a payout to the winners there. But just the fact that there's 3 people that are trying to get into this market, and I expect more. There's going to be a winner that comes out of here. But the beautiful part of this is because Bitcoin's ecosystem is already building infrastructure for scalability with Bitcoin layer 2's ecosystem and, rollups in the future, Fractal, there's going to be ample amount of platforms and ecosystems for them to scale out to, right? So let's say these 3 do well, right? But they do well in their own, like one goes to Fractal and is the main scaled out predictions market there. One goes to Merlin and is the main predictions market there. And then one goes to, let's say, I don't know, maybe Botonics or something, right? That is why I'm extremely bullish on this, is because there doesn't have to just be one winner, right? But I love it, love it, love it.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I was just looking at this while the Bet BTC platform utilizes native token, and it's choosing none other than a rune, not a BRC20, not a tap token. They're choosing a rune, just like the other prediction markets, right? So I'm just putting that out there as well. Again, another builder coming to runes. They have their token distribution here. There's 15% of the supply is going to airdrops, pretty big. 15% is a huge number. That's what Uniswap did originally for its holders. So they're going to airdrop that to communities because you can't really use the site yet. But I was looking at the initial launch, and it says, so you will have to take your Bitcoin and convert that Bitcoin to CKBTC. And then you'll have to go in and take that CKBTC, the receipt of the Bitcoin, and place that on the bets that you're willing to do, whether that's, so it'll be more like Poly market than what Agora is doing. So it is a different mechanism.
CKBTC is the Bitcoin from ICP.
Is it?
Yeah.
You sure?
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. Let's see. Yep, it is. So this project seems to be utilizing ICP as possibly a layer 2. And the unique thing about ICP is that they finalized directly on Bitcoin. They have built out a mechanism to do that. So this one's going to be interesting. Exactly what I said, though, right? They're going to find areas and ecosystems to scale. And BetBTC.win has already planned that out, right? They've chosen ICP to work with. Is my speculation the fact that you have to have CKBTC?
No, you're 100% right. That's the only way to obtain it, I guess. Yeah, so they're going to use probably the canisters in some way. And can you bridge runes to ICP yet?
I'm sure that's what they're working on, right?
Yeah.
I do know desperately ICP wants to be a servicer in a sense, right? To be a layer 2 type of environment. And with that finality, the transaction finality ending on Bitcoin, it makes a lot of sense. I think there's a lot of in between that they're trying to figure out, right? Because like they got the finality down, but like how are they going to do the computations for all the betting and all that stuff, which you know, they will figure that out. I'm sure they're working hand in hand. We stopped by the ICP booth in Nashville at the Bitcoin conference and talked to them, and they're excited. They actually want to jump on the show. I'm trying to get something that matches up our schedules because they want to talk to the Bitcoin community. You know, they were there with a booth. They had a cool little game that you could play. I didn't get my turn, but it's okay. I can get it next time. Yeah, so hey, there could be, and then Tap's working with ICP too, right?
Yeah.
So this is going to be very interesting how they become a part of this overall Bitcoin ecosystem.
Yeah, man. Well, speaking of prediction markets, Athena's Agora is probably a good segue right into them. Block hash roulette. What the hell is block hash roulette? Could you explain?
Yeah, so each block hash ends in a odd or even number, and so you're basically picking black or white here, right? But odd or even, and you win or not, right? And so there's a new market that was created that allows you to do so. So I'll bring up their site here. Yeah, you can see if you just go to view all markets. Right in the middle of the, you can click that too.
Add new markets or okay.
No, just click there.
Okay.
And you see right there, block hash roulette is the first one.
Okay.
Right. So odd or even, so you can basically pick which side you want to bet on. And if you want to bet on even, then you can click on even. So this is literally like a toss up. You're playing coin toss here, right? Because you don't know how it's going to, there's no way for you to have a skill set unless you're like amazing at probability. And even then, like I feel like that doesn't help really much.
So every block has its own even or
hash
odd
rate number. Yeah.
Okay. So that's the hash rate number right there.
It's just going to end an even or odd number, right? And so you're picking the winner to which one you think is correct.
But it's a block every 10 minutes. How do they?
Well, it says, will the block hash a Bitcoin block 856123? So each market is specific to this one is specific block. To that block number. So it gives you a little bit of time, right? To decide what you want to do. I think this is really cool.
It's not going to be every block. It's going to be a certain block.
No, there's no way they could do that.
Okay.
They wouldn't be able to get enough players to do that, right? So you kind of bet on a specific number. And so really this comes down to, if you want to have fun with it and you're good at probability, you see, it's black, red. What's the probability? The next one's going to be black. Odd. What's the probability? The next one's going to be even, right? So it could be fun like that.
Gotcha.
I thought possibly there was like actual roulette type of situation integrated into this. That would be really cool too. But regardless, Agora is the only live predictions market right now on Bitcoin Layer 1. Yes, is it kind of clunky because of limitations? Obviously it is. But they wanted to go live with their system they had conviction in, and they did. And so I think the biggest thing to really keep an eye on is, how will this platform evolve? How will it be more user-friendly? Because at the end of the day, that's really what's going to make people use one platform over the other. And if I was Agora, I would probably run to Merlin or Botonics or whichever one they feel comfortable with to start scaling it, at least having that ready from a smart contract type of platform to where they can switch the network. If they use Merlin or whatever, they can just switch. They can still use their Unisat wallet, X1st wallet. And then once Bitcoin's limitations are kind of loosened up here, they can mimic what they have on Merlin or Botonics or whatever they choose. ICP, if they go that route as well.
Pretty cool. Jump to the next thing here. Tapalytics is now live, and I think I have it right here. Yep, I do. So,
I think we lost Shizzy here. It's frozen.
You good?
Okay, there you go. Yep, you're good now.
So the Tapalytics is now live. We had these guys on the show, I want to say not last Tuesday, but the Tuesday before that. These guys are building a Ethereum scan, I guess you would say, or a mempool type of thing for the Tap stuff. So this is pretty cool. You have different stuff here. You can go to collections, you can go to tokens and stuff like that. Have you had time to take a deep dive into this yet?
I did. I looked at it. Yeah, I'm very impressed. I love the UI. It's very sleek. It's very clear, concise. I feel like gets straight to the point. That's what you need for an analytics dashboard. I'm going to mess around with it a little bit further, later on today when I have more time. But yeah, I'm impressed with it. We have these guys. Pepalon, I believe, is the Papillon is the main person that is the face of this project, and we've been chatting in DMs. And he was going to come on yesterday for Tap Tuesday, but this wasn't quite ready, and so he just sent it over, and I'm impressed. We're going to see how much more robust this can be as they add new features and things.
What is this price right here? Is that
30? It's Satoshi's, 36 Satoshis.
Oh, that's a Satoshi symbol.
Satoshi symbol, brother. Come on now.
I thought it was the 3 lines. I didn't notice that. Oh yeah, if you look at it correctly, yeah, it does look like the S. Okay, cool. Yeah, man. So that's pretty cool. Holders, collections. But I remember he did say something about you can see like the DMT collections and stuff like that.
Or UNATs. Is there UNATs there?
I don't see a UNATs.
Yeah.
Let me give us a quick refresh because it might have been from earlier today. All right. So, but yeah, pretty cool. Karma has a lot of holders. Damn.
Yeah, it does because of the airdrop. Remember?
Okay.
It was airdrop to a lot of the community members. So, I mean, I don't know. If I was Sora, I definitely would look at that token and say, hey, we have an opportunity here, guys. We did this for a reason. And then, try to.
That's pretty cool. They have they show Ghosty's recent posts and stuff. That's really cool.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
That is really cool. And that's a theme I'm noticing too with the tap builders. They're really trying to integrate social aspect of. I said that's what I'm noticing with the tap builders is that they're really trying to integrate the social aspect into their application or product. I mean, you have Tapalytics now, you have Tap Wallet and Explorer, the social aspect of that, being able to message each other. You have Launch Punks, that entire launch pad is basically social. Foxy has a social. I mean, like that's so smart for them to do that because what and I almost wonder, is this like a theme within the Tap Builder chats, right? Like, hey, let's make sure we're getting social going because I haven't seen this consistency in an ecosystem before. Have you? Not like this. So
I mean, there's more and more builds every day, and that's my biggest thing. Is like it's kind of like you show me the builders, and I'll show you a successful project, right? So I mean, that's how I don't look at stuff by market cap. I don't look at stuff by volume. I look at stuff by the builders. The more builders you have on a chain, the more builders you have on a project, the more builders, the more devs you guys have, the more stuff that's going to be built out, right? And it might happen slowly, but at the end, the project or the chain or the in this case meta protocol, the more builders you have in that meta protocol, the more solid it's going to be. And that's the one reason why I am bullish on Tap. I'm bullish on it because the builders keep on coming and they're not stopping. I mean, Tap Wallet came out of nowhere. These guys came out of nowhere. Like we had no indication that these guys were building anything. And so it's boom,
that's true.
It's in our face. Hey guys, this is what we have. And we're going to see more and more of this, especially for Tap.
I mean, they have a big opportunity. I have to admit, there were times where, with the Tap ecosystem, my confidence wasn't as strong. I was never out, but I definitely fluctuated, right? And the fact that we're learning more and more about like how many builders are building there, how many wallets, how many infrastructure tools and stuff are already built or on the way. You got to be bullish, and you got to take advantage of this too. If you're Benny and you're the track team and stuff, I hope those promises do what they promise to do, because no pun intended there. But there's a big opportunity. I'll say that
for sure. We're just waiting for Traverse to come in. Do you want to jump into some questions? Because I don't want to get into
we can hit on some of these comments and questions here. Let's work from the bottom. KaiFX says 1 more point for runes. Yeah, I mean, look, the predictions market comment was it's pretty eye-opening. I mean, every predictions market right now is a rune project. Right now, Tap didn't say that there's a predictions market coming to them, but I don't know of one that's in the BRC20 ecosystem. So yeah, that's definitely pretty eye-opening there.
There's nothing really in the BRC20 ecosystem. There's nothing new. Have you seen anything? I'm not even trying to be like an a-hole here, but have you like honestly seen anything new being built in a way, and a BRC20 being their official token?
I haven't, but I also don't know if that is, because most of them are within the Unisat ecosystem and they're just trying to keep it hush or what. But, at the end of the day, I'm not seeing like builders come out
Yeah.
on the timeline and talk about what they're building other than Fractal. The Fractal did have a couple things, where this pump that fun, that sounds extremely fun. There was an Ordinal collection that I saw yesterday that was kind of, I wasn't crazy about the art, but hey, you know what? Like we have seen that art doesn't really mean, higher market cap or floor price, right? So,
I mean, look at the Quantum Cats. They're ugly as crap. Like, right? I'm sorry. Yeah. They're ugly as crap, but it's the team that's behind them at the end of the day, correct?
Yeah. All right. Abdul says, should I buy the top 5 Ordinals projects or just hold the Bitcoin equivalent?
Well, we will not give you financial advice, but if I had Bitcoin and I wanted to get into some projects, I would do a little bit of both. I would buy a little bit, buy maybe, I don't know,
the more promising ones.
Exactly. Like I would buy a Puppet or a Node Monkey or, OMB, because they're all pretty cheap to the comparison. I mean, Udi's, he's telling everyone to buy a Quantum Cat, right? Because he's saying what we're building in the background, especially with the cheap fees, is going to blow your mind. So even a Quantum Cat could be a good buy right now. But I don't want to tell you what to do. But what I would do is I would maybe do a little bit of both. Maybe DCA into the Ordinal project that you're interested in.
Yeah, and probably more, and if it was me, more Bitcoin, and then really like break down why you would do whatever Ordinal project you would get into. There's a mix of legacy and early inscription layers of value versus also team and marketing behind it. And I'll be the first to admit that I did not expect Quantum Cats to hold their value the way they have. But up until I would say like a month and a half ago, when I started to realize the strategy that Udi and his team have been using has been working. It literally has convinced people not to list their Quantum Cats. Right. Yeah, and so you can see the percentage of listed against the total supply, and it's always the lowest. So kudos to those guys. They've done a great job in brainwashing their community. No, I'm just kidding. And telling their community, why they shouldn't be listing their Quantum Cats.
Yeah. I do see one half of the Traverse people. Are we waiting for the other half, you think?
Let's give them a minute or so.
Yeah.
I want to get to a couple more comments here. D-Love says, my swap on Fluid token is not going through. Is there something I'm doing wrong? So first, make sure that you're using Xverse Wallet. I say that because it tells you exactly what you're swapping out and what you're receiving. Yeah. Second, if you are swapping and it's going through, but it hasn't actually gone into your wallet, that is because it's getting rejected eventually because there's not enough liquidity for that. But Shizzy's showing you right now kind of what it should look like.
If you watch my tutorial video, our tutorial video from last night, you would see that I swapped for 15,300 and dog tokens, and you can see I have them right here. All right. So if you did the swap 2 blocks ago, you might have to wait a few hours or an hour. It depends on the other person. They need to come to the computer and they need to sign the transaction. Until OpCat comes in the game, this is something that we are going to have to deal with. But like, I'll do a swap here. I'll do the amount of dog that I purchased last night, 15,038, and I will do it for the Bitcoin swap. You know exactly when this comes through, my wallet's going to pop up, and then of course I'm never signed in, and I will sign in really quickly. And then you can see that I am trading. It's going to come up. It's going to tell me the exact amount of dog I am trading, 15,038 for $53 in Bitcoin. I'm going to confirm that, and then I will get a confirmation thing here. But then I will still have to wait for that person to come back and hit the confirm button on their side of it, because that's how Bitcoin transactions are. And like I said, until we get something like OpCat, this is something we will have to deal with. But OpCat's going to make it so I can pre-sign your sign. So after your signing happens, my signing will happen automatically. And that is why we need OpCat, and that is why I think we're going to get OpCat. But This is the best way we can do right now. Use Fluid because you will get the airdrop of the pass. Use it, guys. If you haven't used it yet, just go do a swap like I did. I have a tutorial video last night. Just use the swap. I promise you, the airdrop will be worth it, and you're going to be able to stake it on their site, and you're going to be able to even earn even more. Promise, promise, promise. It'll be worth it.
Yep. All right. I think that's it. So we can go ahead and bring Musa up and
hold on real quickly before we do that, though. Let's kind of bring up our thing here. So we'll kind of get into what is, for anyone new here today, like we'll kind of get into what exactly is traverselabs.io. I'll kind of start with this. If you don't know what it is, they are number one non-custodian way to secure your assets. So basically, you go to traverselabs.io, you open up a vault. When you open up your vault, you open it up with MFA. And what that basically means is you'll get a Google Authenticator code, and then you'll get an email code, and you'll still have to sign with your wallet. So let's just say you have a node monkey, you feel uncomfortable leaving it in there, you're having trouble sleeping. You can use Traverse's vaults to kind of take your node monkey, send it to that vault, lock it in. That vault has its own address, so you just send it from your wallet to that vault. And then when you're ready to send it out back to the original wallet that you send it in, you just need your Google Authenticator code that no one else has. You'll use your email password that nobody else has, and then you'll sign it with your wallet. And then that will send it back to any wallet that you want. It doesn't have to be that wallet. It can be another wallet as well. But it's another way to sleep.
oh, freezing up again, Shizzy.
What the heck? What is going
Oh,
on?
there you are.
I'm back.
Turn your VPN off. I'm just kidding.
I don't think my VPN's on.
Yeah, you're good. You're back though.
All right. Did you hear what I said?
Yeah, you were good
Okay.
up and yeah, you pretty much got that point across with the.
Yeah, my VPN is not on. It's crazy.
Gotcha. Yep. All right. Well, as Shizzy was finishing up there, it is the number one solution security asset vault for Bitcoin Layer 1 assets, and we've been with them for a while. We love what they provide to the community because we've been we've seen some crazy hacks. Unfortunately, people lose 700,000 plus in ordinals and assets. You just don't want to be in that position. But yeah, let's go ahead and bring Musa up and welcome him to Ordinal Revolution. How are you doing, Musa?
Doing well, guys. How are you guys doing?
Amazing.
Doing well.
Appreciate the intro. Yeah, it's a pretty good summary of what it is that we do, and yeah, looking forward to working with you guys some more and talking also over the next couple of weeks about what we're trying to bring out with the treasuries and all that kind of stuff as well. Like there should be a lot of exciting stuff to talk about. But no, happy to be here.
Yeah, for sure. Could you kind of explain a little bit to the audience what you do at Traverse and what your role is?
Yeah, so I'm the chief strategy officer. So my background is working in mergers and acquisitions and that kind of like the capital markets, private equity side of things. Pretty much what makes a business valuable. How does it gain value? How do you sell it? How do you buy one? And how do you buy the parts of one that you want? So I did that for a while, and when I joined Traverse, kind of one of my jobs was the guys were already really good from a tech standpoint. They already understood what they were, what the value was and what they were building. Obviously I help work with them on which direction we want to take things and make sure that everything's viable as a company, and it also gives the user the best end experience that they can have, because sometimes one of the issues that you get is when companies are built on developers, there's it's tech-minded first, right? And their baseline for the what the average understanding is of the tech that goes into this stuff is way higher. So part of the importance in building out that product and any products that we build out going forward is making sure that they're usable by the average person in the space, that people don't have 1,000 questions to ask. And if they do have even 10, that those are answered, stuff like that. So that's pretty much what I do, and yeah, trying to get the business end of it as well for them, with the fundraising and all that kind of stuff as well.
Yeah, well, I think that fits perfectly for your role. You know, the fact that you guys or that you come from a mergers and acquisitions, you know, previous role there, so it's perfect dealing with these, you know, investors and then also just partnerships and stuff like that. So that's awesome. But speaking of that, could you kind of talk a little bit about, you know, maybe some future partnership opportunities for other builders in the space that can collaborate with Traverse, maybe in terms of like API, shared APIs and stuff like that?
Yeah. So one of the things that obviously, one of the things that we've had is that we pushed out initially the ETH vault, and then our biggest objective was to prove that we could do the same thing on Bitcoin. We've done that now, and we wanted to show with the Hackneys, for example, that those two would be they both meet the same standard on hacks. Uh, Part of the goals then going forward is, for example, having an API that developers can work with us with. We actually finished blueprinting a collaboration with one partner that's going to be featured in not only the personal vaults and developments going down the line, but also in our treasury vault product that we're going to be pushing out. So yeah, no, I think our objective is what we're trying to do on our side is make sure that we develop kind of think about it kind of like a checking account but for crypto, right? So we want as solid and stable and user friendly a base for you to store your assets and broadly move them around wherever you can. And what we want to work with partners to do is to make sure that we bring the kind of features and use cases that any user would want. So swapping is one of those things. We were already working with somebody on that front. Staking features, you know, even like being able to fund directly from fiat is something that we're considering down the line. Yes, integrated services that would, for example, flag malicious contracts as well. Like, you know, they have people that do that. It's not where we specialize, so obviously we'd have to work with and talk to a lot of those companies and make sure that, you know, see how their solution works and if it integrates well with us. But yeah, especially right now as we're in the midst of our you know, rapid development phase and in the active process, as I was mentioning earlier, of fundraising. We're open-minded to anybody who wants to reach out and has a solution that makes logical sense. You know, we really don't want to work or partner up with people just to have, you know, two names side by side and, you know, push out banners and not really do much. We want something that has a notable use case for our end users. So like anybody who's got a good asset management functionality or wants to work with somebody where we're going to be trying to obviously have as a storage solution, one of our biggest metrics is TVL, and we're happy to work with anybody who's got something that you know, they'd want access to those users for, where they can provide, you know, a use, not only a useful service to our end users, but also a good deal to them, right? So we don't want to work with anybody who's, you know, giving a substandard to market like deal with our users. We want to work with somebody who's ideally able to offer, you know, preferred rates and stuff like that. That was one of the things that we were looking at with our Traverse token utility, is being able to potentially offer those preferred rates on partnerships. So yeah, open-minded to anybody at the moment. We're in rapid development, so our blueprinting gets done pretty quickly these days. So happy with anyone who wants to talk. We'll keep our doors open and converse. So yeah.
Awesome. That's awesome. I actually love this approach too. It's weird because when you first hear checking account, you think of just the traditional world, right? Web 2 traditional, but this approach couldn't be further from that. Obviously, the only traditional correlation there is that you are trying to keep your funds kind of safe for yourself in a single location while still having access to all these cool features and tools that crypto brings to the everyday user. So love that.
The base level anyways is that our objective is to never compromise like the fundamentals of the space when we develop. So right, the object is obviously safety, But if you're, for example, if you're completely compromising being decentralized, and you're no longer decentralized in any way or anything like that, I mean, you're essentially just storing your assets with the bank again. It's a new centralized entity. So you've not done anything. You've just taken a cool feature that's digital and done what you pretty much digitally do with money anyways with the bank. You just taken it to someone else, like let's say a centralized exchange. You store your assets with them. And really, your only dependency there on things not going badly is that they're going to stay alive, because they're. I can't believe we're still saying this kind of stuff in 2024, but too big to fail. So they're going to stay up, and your stuff is going to be fine. On our side, the viewpoint is, if we can't provide you security whilst keeping things self-custodial, where your backup is actually nothing to do with us, right? As I said, our central objective is kind of one of the standards that we set is, if somebody broke into the offices with a gun and put it to our heads, could we move your assets? Could we do anything? Could we give them what they wanted? And if the answer to that is no, then we're doing our job, right? Because that's what it means to be in this space. And so, yeah, when I say like a checking account, the reality is we want to give people that same level of understanding that your money is there and it's not going anywhere. Right, like for most people nowadays with the bank, it's just because it's FDIC insured. If you got under 250K, even if you get robbed, you're gonna get it back, right? For us, it's to prove out that not only when we incentivize people to take money out of the vault, they can't hack it and break through it. And we publish our private key for the wallet connected to our vaults and our hack keys. We're happy to do this in a public setting anytime that we can, but also explain to you why. So every feature that's built into Traverse's personal vaults, right, that will also then obviously all those same features and more will be in consideration with Treasury Vault. They're built to ensure that not only you have control over it, but you have contingency plans, fail safes if things don't work out. So, for example, on our development timeline, and something that should be getting completed, fairly soon, is our Doomsday Protocol. The objective of that is that you shouldn't have to even use our UI or worry about using our UI. If we go down, we want to still give you the opportunity to fully recover your vault, just as if nothing had happened to us. And the Doomsday is yet another contingency that we're going to offer users, so that even if our shit goes down entirely, there's still a 30-day period where if you clear your MFA and stuff like that on chain, you'll just recover the entire contents of your vault to one of your wallets, right? Like that for us is important because it gives you that control without your dependency on us. That's what's really important to us, is that we want to provide the service. Obviously, we want to succeed as a company providing that service, but at no point do we want any of our customers to be, sitting around and feeling like they're dependent on us, or that if too big to fail doesn't hold true, or X, Y, and Z, that somehow they're going to get screwed out of it. That's for us, that doesn't meet the objective standard that we want. That if that's what we're doing, we might as well just be a centralized exchange, and it's not what we're trying to do at all. And that's why we build our MFA that way, right? We're going to be trying to bring pass keys in as well as an MFA method, but the objective is that if you have an authenticator and an email, right? Those are two separate ways to get codes. But let's say, for example, we want to view it as it's not the responsibility of our users to make sure that nothing ever goes wrong. Nobody can do that. And unfortunately, in the secure wallets and the secure storage space, there's been just far too much focus on, how advanced the tech is and how hard it is to brute force X, Y, and Z. But then all of the responsibility on not tripping up essentially just gets passed on to the user. And they go, yeah, no, this works great, but if you never miss an oil change, you never forget to change the air in your tires, you get it checked, on the dot every year. And people don't do that, right? Like, that's just the reality. Nobody's doing everything perfectly to maintain their product because they got other things that they want to do with their day. So part of the way that we build it, for example, like having the security questions and the multi-field security questions, as well as the authenticator and email MFA, it's that. So let's say, for example, your email is accessible on your phone, your authenticator is accessible on your phone. If somebody hijacks your phone and we only had those two, you're gone, right? It may have still been that we didn't do anything wrong. Your phone might have been hijacked, but you're still gone, right? So that's not a viable avenue for you. I can't just be like, oh well, so long as everything on you stays perfectly fine, you're going to be perfectly fine. We're the security company, not you. That's not your job. So the reason that we put the security questions there is there's now another field that somebody can't access and wouldn't really easily access from your device because you don't have a reason to store it. It's actually more inconvenient for you to log all the questions and all the different fields answers than just remember them, because there should be questions that you would know. And that's why we allow you to personalize them. When we add passkeys as well, that'll be a code that's sent to a third party, that even if somebody was able to hijack your device, they wouldn't be able to necessarily clear your passkeys just by hijacking that device. So for us, it's about how does the user get compromised, and how do we shore that up in every way possible, whilst also just making the tool simple, right? It's a difficult problem to go through, but I think we've done it pretty decently. And obviously, as we get our funding and as we continue to go through our rapid development, we think we're going to be pushing out more products and an even better rendition of the personal vaults that we think personally can compete with any solution out there. And obviously, people who are interested in the product obviously think so as well.
Yeah, that's great. And you pretty much answered this question from SPI. Is this centralized? So go ahead.
No, go right ahead.
I was going to say, yeah, you pretty much answered that in an in-depth way. So SPI, I hope that answers your question there. They did ask also, does Traverse have a token? Did you want to address that?
Yeah, we do. So we have a token on tap called Traverse, and part of what we want to do with the token is make sure that it has different stages of utility. That's obviously going into also our work with partners that we're looking to get. So that's why as I said, we're especially being in this rapid development phase, we're so open to conversing with different partners that would be interested in joining us, and we're happy to discuss like what can be done for our end users, because we want to make sure that we add utility that makes sense. So some of that utility may wind up being specific partner focused. Some of it may just be broadly sweeping across your use of the product. It really depends on how it will go forward. But yeah, we do have the token, and thank you guys for throwing it up there on the screen so people could see that. It's verifiable.
Awesome.
Yeah, if you guys are looking to get purchase this for any reason, you go to ordinalswallet.com, and this is really the only. You can buy it on SatsX as well, but this is where the most volume.
Tap Wallet Marketplace might have some.
I checked; it doesn't have any there yet.
They don't have any right now. Okay.
Yeah, but they probably will. But yeah.
Yeah.
And this is your Twitter, right? It's probably the best place to come find you.
Yeah. We're going to be pushing out a lot of our, not only like a lot of anticipation and build up for the work with partners that we're going to be doing, but pretty much anything that we preview, we're going to be doing. Working with media partners and working with you guys and on our Twitter. So yeah, if you want to stay up to date on stuff that's coming out, we're kind of going to be on an aggressive front over the next probably month to 2 months. So if you want to keep an eye on that, I'd recommend it if you're interested in the project.
For sure, 100%. And you'll always get updates from Ordinal Revolution with Traverse product updates and everything. One last question. I'm not sure how in depth you can go on this, because obviously you're the guy that talks to all these partnerships, and some of this information can't be given to the public yet. But I know that you guys have thrived in your personal security vaults, but there's also another type of, I guess we could call it like the personal checking account and the business checking account, the B2B vaults. Could you talk a little bit about that? And if you can't, that's fine. I was just wondering if there was anything you could give.
No, it's totally fine. So yeah, that's actually, I think that connection you've drawn is pretty much perfect. What we wanted to do was, so I told you we initially dropped the product on ETH. We then did it on Bitcoin. Part of the development for pushing out the business checking account that you're talking about is having a multi-chain vault, so that we're going to do this again on a personal front with ideally a vault that you can use for both your Bitcoin and your ETH. So that should simplify things down as well. And then the product that we've been developing, as we've kind of been looking to now go out and complete this funding round and be in a rapid development, is essentially a business checking account. We view that as kind of the largest hurdle possible from a security standpoint. If you're trying to secure assets, the place where there's going to be the most factors and the most like avenues for compromise is going to be in a business setting, right? So where you have teams of people that not only need to have their assets stored, but they need to be able to use it, right? Like there's no value in me giving you a great solution for keeping 3 million of ETH sitting in one vault unmovable. That's great, like, but you can't do anything with this. It's pretty much it's gone from being currency to not currency because it's not movable. So what we've done is we've tried to develop a product that is a kind of a personal vault that has multi-sig and a bunch of other features on there, like permission, signage permissions, spending limits, consolidated transactions, swapping features, all that kind of stuff for the business side of things. And the objective is essentially to push something out that proves that we can not only store your assets at a corporate level, where the stakes are obviously really high because some corporations and projects have millions that need to be stored, but also that we can do it in a way that's convenient for you when you're managing your expenses for your entire organization, and that allows you to move the money around without compromising the security. So that project has been taking us a little while because we have to check on each feature, right? So even at some point when we were talking about like signers and like doing a proper multi-sig solution, because there's some very, very big players out there doing multi-sig. Like for example, Safe does it with ETH. We want to obviously do it across ETH and Bitcoin at the same time, but we wanted to check like any possible feature that could compromise somebody. So even when we're looking at like a manager's dashboard and how they log into it and what permissions they're given, that's something that we check. So for example, we removed the ability for a manager to swap out signers, because if a manager's login gets compromised and they're able to swap out signers, then you can run into the same type of custody hack issues with a multi-sig that have compromised recent multi-sigs, and to the tune of quite a lot of money. So that's kind of where our approach has, obviously we're going to be pushing that product out, and we're really excited about that because the teaser for it should hopefully be done for the beta version fairly soon, and we can't wait to show people and get people's feedback on that. But our approach and our ethos when it comes to security is extremely practical and unfortunate, and usually involves a longer process of actually qualitatively looking at how every entity in the process uses a product and where the risk factors come in. So yeah, we've been doing that and trying to understand inside an organization what they would need. And we think we have it done fairly soon. So hopefully soon we'll get a chance to roll the teaser for the product out. And yeah, we have other exciting news, but I'm trying to bite my tongue slightly. I know I've got probably in my messages I've got Sam, our marketing guy, checking, making sure that I don't give too much away in advance. But yeah, that's so you're completely right. We did it on the personal level. Now we're going to do it on the business level and show people that we have the best version of this product to get to scale, and also for our partners, because we believe in working as much for both sides' benefit as possible. That scale will also reward the partners that we're working with, because and that's a standard that we want to hold everybody to. So yeah, that's what we're pushing out. It's going to be coming out hopefully fairly soon, the teaser. So yeah, I guess check, stay tuned on Ordrev and on the Twitter to see that when it comes out.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's super exciting just to watch you guys since last October when we first discovered y'all. Had Kareem on. I think your team is really kind of a little bit kind of like an underdog team, because people have assessed your skill sets because they don't really know as much about the team. But you guys definitely, from the developer side all the way to you, the strategist side, and then Hussam as well. So I'm excited to see where this goes, especially with the API integrations. It's going to be, guys, you got to imagine a one-stop shop for protected assets, as well as swapping. And who knows if you're going to be able to swap those protected assets. I don't know. I might have heard from a birdie. No, I'm just kidding. But, you know, you guys are definitely moving in the right direction at a very, in my opinion, impressive speed. And I'm excited for September and October for y'all.
Yeah, no, so are we. We're very excited, and thank you very much. Honestly, yeah, we're going to hopefully, especially working with partners, just show people that, you know, there's maybe over 1.5 trillion of addressable market in this space if you don't include like the DeFi and other aspects of it. And it's been over a decade that we've been looking at the same problems. People have tried secure wallet solutions for a long time. They've hired the best people. They've had billions within the firm. It's not a problem, clearly, of hiring the best people, having, you know, a guy coming out of NASA, you know, on your thing, trying to explain to you technicals. It's clearly a problem in the way people are thinking about security, and just the entire approach is wrong. In my viewpoint, like I could go off on a little diatribe on my own about, like, you know, the problems with the notion of secure wallets themselves relative to like what we do and why they work differently and why the security aspect is different. But yeah, we're going to be working with partners to make sure that we're pushing out like the most that we possibly can for our users. And as we did with the Hack Me, we're not the people who are going to come out and, you know, give you a really, really long padded resume and a whole bunch of like credentials and this, that, and the other, and talk to you about, you know, our system and why it's not brute forceable and all these technical aspects. We're just going to do it and put it out there. And again, like, we're going to put it out there for people to try to rob us. And if you can rob us, you're free to make jokes about us all day long. Go on your Twitter, tell people that you took our money and shit like that, and that you had a blast doing it. We deserve it, right? Because we failed at our job. But that's our approach. We go out there, we push the product, and if people like it, they like it. If they don't like it, we're more than happy to hear why they don't like it. That's our style.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, Musa, we appreciate you, you know, explaining to our community and the audience in the Bitcoin ecosystem what you guys have coming and what you guys are about. We will definitely, you know, be speaking to you guys soon, and we look forward to the future of Traverse.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you guys for having me. It was very nice talking on here. And again, yeah, talk to you guys soon. Hopefully, even more for you and your audience shortly. Fingers crossed.
100%. 100%. All right. See you later, Musa.
Catch you later. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Well, guys, go check them out. They are traverselabs.io. They are the #1 security solution in Ordinals right now. There is no other one to my knowledge. So go check them out, and use it.
Yeah, and if you're a builder in the Bitcoin ecosystem and you have a product that you're developing an API for, you know, Traverse's brand is building strong. I mean, over the past 3 months, it's the strongest. Obviously, you know, they partnered with us. We've given them, you know, some great airtime, but also at the same time, they've done a great job on their end with their product. So if you have a solution that fits well into this, you know, you could basically penetrate a user base as well. So reach out to those guys. If you don't know how to, reach out to us. We'll reroute you. But yeah, super excited about them. And also, I'll just might as well get into our partners too. Sure. You know, if you guys have some extra time today, check out bitperp.io. They are the premier perp DEX that's going to be launching on Botonics, which is the Bitcoin layer 2. They are really focused on runes, guys. I just saw another partnership announcement with my favorite guy, Mr. Yen, Japanese businessman. And so I feel like there's going to be some really good degen activity on that DEX. So just keep an eye out for them. Ordinal Hive is the Blur Bitcoin. They are building on Merlin chain. Go to their Discord, ask to be allowed into their beta version of their platform. It's actually live Bitcoin. You can sell your assets on Merlin, your ordinals, your you can earn points, and we know what happened with Blur's points. It's kind of a similar system there. So go check them out. Fluid Tokens is the decentralized exchange swap of runes on Bitcoin. Right now, they're going until August 15th. For the top 1,000 points earners, you will get a free airdropped Fluid Tokens pass. Now, you will be able to stake that pass to earn Fluid Token points, which will probably give you an airdrop of, I don't know, maybe Fluid Tokens. So we'll have to see over time. And then, of course, Verothium Dex, my guy Shizzy, I'm pointing over there. Yeah. He actually did a swap on with live liquidity. So liquidity has been added. They are on Merlin chain. And so we believe it's going to be a day or two max for you to be able to stake your mines, guys. Shizzy, you want to talk about that a little bit? What your experience was swapping?
Yeah, so I did about $5 just to kind of think I didn't want to like do too much and stuff like that. So liquidity is in there, and I did $5 worth of Bitcoin on the Merlin chain to the VGAS token. So I got like 13,000 VGAS tokens. So I didn't do a lot, and I know that they're not really wanting to get it going yet. But once it is going, you guys go in and purchase as much as you want. The liquidity is huge. There's tons of it. So you will be able to get as much as you possibly want, or go with the other way around and earn it and then just sell it for Bitcoin as well. You can trade it right now for Merlin, and you can trade it for Bitcoin. That is the two liquidity pools right now. And on top of that, I did see the staking for the Verothium mines. It is there. Sam said that he's having one little minor bug, but that bug will be sorted out today, and potentially everything will be live possibly by Friday. So that would be absolutely amazing. But we've said this in the past, so we're just gonna be very cautious and say by Monday, but we think it'll be sooner than that.
Yeah, exactly. And then we just spoke about Traverse Labs, guys, the #1 Bitcoin layer 1 security solution on the market, and that is our partners there.
Yep. And guys, please go check out ordinalrevolution.com. The more you go to the site, the more it benefits us. Just go here a few times a day. That benefits us more than you know. And we do have some of the best articles, guys. If you know anyone new in the space trying to get in, we do have this brand new article on Hermetica. And we do have a video coming out in a few hours all about Hermetica with Jacob, the founder and CEO. This was an amazing video, and there's some extreme alpha in that video. So you're going to want to go watch that video when it comes out later, or just check it out here. This amazing article. But if you guys are looking for some clothes, some ordinal stuff to kind of show your ordinal passion, we do have some of the best here, guys. We got school bags. Send your kids back to school with the Ordinal Revolution school bag. They will hate you for it. I mean, love you for it, but that would be absolutely amazing. Check us out, guys. We appreciate it. And we are live Monday to Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. UTC. So check us out all week. We don't go anywhere. We'll be here all next week as well. I might be out a day or two next week. I'm going on vacation, but I'm going to be still on the show on Monday and Tuesday. We're thinking of not doing the Merlin Monday and the Tap Tuesday. We're still in discussion about that, but since I'm not going to be fully available, we might kind of just skip that for next week. We're talking about it internally, so just giving you guys a heads up. But we will have all the information you guys need. Check us out all week next week. We appreciate you guys, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Peace.
We OG, oh no OG. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got the oh no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to Olo, yeah. Experts on reload, yeah. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got the oh no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to Olo. Experts on reload. Mempool getting hot. Everybody wanna rock, ayy. Runes is coming, everybody on a knot, ayy. It's a nuisance, Ordinal Revolution, ayy. Ordinal Revolution. Yo, it's my guy for real, bro. Got friends right now. Yo, BRC 420, bro. Yo, that shit on fire, bro. Imagine if he in here. Yeah, like it in the seal. Murder. I got balls of steel. Nuki on the field. Yeah, this shit for real. With no calls, I get so far. Got 100 phone calls that I go hard, and they gon' love me. Smoke weed, huddle back. I get shiesty am I? Bitcoin looking lovely. All this Satoshi's nothing above me.